So in today's video, I'm going to run through my favourite tips, tricks and shortcuts of living with a Tesla. And this might be useful for anyone who's just bought their first Tesla. Let's get straight into it. So let's start with something nice and simple, which is the navigate to home. As you'll see throughout this video, there's multiple ways to do the same thing with a Tesla. So I'll just show you a few of these. So if you wanted to navigate home, the easiest way, if you have your home destination already set in the back end of the sat-nav, is you can just touch on here and swipe down, and that should take you directly to your home.
B3232 for 0.3 of a mile.
Or another way you could do is you could use the voice command. So you could press in your right scroll wheel, take me home.
Drive north.
So moving on to the amazing Tesla app. So some of you might already know on the Tesla app you can send directions direct to your car. So if you're sat in your house, before you even get in the car, you can send a route to your car. So let's say I want to go to Exeter. And then send a car.
Now turn right onto Bartridge Hill.
And there you have it. But there is another way of doing it as well. Google Maps. If I type in Exeter here, and then share from here, I can share direct to the car that way as well. So again, there's multiple ways to do the same thing. So another useful feature is being able to set your desired arrival energy at your destination. So navigating, go on the three dots, set arrival energy, and you can set whatever you want. So let's say I want to arrive at 45% at my destination. It will then recalculate again any additional charging stops, so you arrive with at least the energy you've requested. Moving on to charging, and specifically how to unlock your charge port. You can unlock your charge port the normal way, whether that be inside on the screen or on your app, but there is another way following a recent update. So on the door handle here, next to the charge port, if you hold the door handle open for more than 3 seconds, charge port unlocked. Obviously you need to be mindful of if, let's say, you're charging at a supercharger and you're letting your kids in or out the back of the car, not to hold on to the door handle for more than 3 seconds, otherwise you're going to stop your charge inadvertently. And this feature only works on this door handle, none of the other door handles. Controlling your vehicle's HVAC system can be done in multiple ways, and the HVAC is your heating, ventilation and air conditioning. So if you want to change the temperature, you can either use the arrows to the left or right of the temperature gauge, or you can just press on the screen and swipe up and down to change the temperature. You can use your left hand scroll wheel if you've set it as a favourite. If I press this in and hold it in, you've got the temperature there, and if I press again I can increase or decrease the temperature. Or you can use voice commands. Decrease temperature by 3 degrees. You can even do the heated seats. Turn on driver heated seats. Or if you're a child like me, you can use another way through the voice control. My balls are cold. And there we have toasty balls. If you want to turn off your HVAC system completely, just on the temperature gauge here, if you just press and hold, and you'll see the temperature go dark. And I don't know if you can hear that on the camera, but you can hear the fans have stopped now. And if you want to switch it back on, just tap it. So another great feature on the Tesla app is being able to open your driver's side door from externally without having to use the door handles. And this is very useful in the winter time when these flush door handles are very prone to becoming frozen solid and you're unable to open the door. So what you can do is open the door remotely from the app. So if you go onto the app, you'll see the little door symbol there. By pressing on that, you can see it drops the window and pings the door open, allowing you entry. However, what I would recommend is, because sometimes even the windows become stuck on the rubber in the wintertime, before opening the door I would look to vent the windows first to try and avoid any damage to your windows. You see the little vent symbol there? So if I press that, that will drop the window first, and then if you open the door, there's probably less risk of damaging your window. Another useful tip is your favourite apps. So you can set these to always appear on the screen, but if you want to change any, you can just press and hold. This brings up all your apps. You can see obviously these crosses have come here, so you can delete which ones you don't want, and then any ones that you do want, you just select and drag across. I think you can have a maximum of 5 on the My Apps line, and then just tap, and that saves them. So these will always stay on your screen. On the left hand side, these are most recently used apps, and they will keep changing depending on which apps you use on your screen, but these ones here should always stay the same. So there is a way of setting your boot height to only open to a certain height, and you can also set this to a specific location, so it can be location based. So let's say you visit a regular underground car park, say for instance at work, and it's got a low ceiling height. You can set it for a specific location. So I'll try and demonstrate how this works. So to set your boot height, there's a couple of ways of doing it. You can do it outside the car on the boot itself or inside. So I'm going to do it outside first. I'd recommend this is probably the better way of doing it because you can actually eyeball the height of the boot better than from inside the car. But I'll show you both. So to set the boot height that you want, in this instance I'm going to close the boot and then stop it at the height I want by pressing the button again. And then by holding the button in, you'll hear a long beep. And that's now set for that height. So I'm going to continue closing the boot, and we'll go and check the front of the car. There should be a message on the car now. Save at this location. There we go, saved. Cool. Look at that great charger image now on the new update. So the boot is now saved at this location. So let's go and check to see if it did save. So I'm going to open the boot, and I can already see from the screen and from the rearview mirror that the boot is definitely set at the height I placed. So come back round, and there you can see the boot is only open to the height we specified. So there is another way of setting the boot height, and that's from inside the car. So you can do it on the screen, so open then press pause, and then it will give you the prompt, do you want to save at this location? So that's another way of doing it from inside the car instead of outside. So another useful feature is the weather app in the Tesla. So if you tap on the temperature gauge in the car, this brings up your current weather, where you are, and the predicted weather for the next few hours. Also, if you were actually navigating somewhere, so if I was going to go to Basingstoke, hit the temperature gauge, you can see your current location weather and also your destination weather for roughly your time of arrival as well, which is nice and handy. So if I come out of that and end that. One of the other good features, if you wanted to see the current rain radar over the next few hours, if you click on the screen and you've got the cloud and sun symbol there, if you click on that, this gives you a rain radar picture, which is quite useful, and you can scroll right out, and obviously, well, you can see there Europe's taken a bit of a hammering today. Another useful tip is your blind spot camera view. So when you're indicating, and if it's covering a part of the map that you actually wanted to look at briefly while you're driving, you can just tap on the indicator symbol without having to stop indicating to view your map in full detail. And to bring it back again, just tap on the indicator symbol again. Alternatively, you can just move your view to another location on your screen. Some other great useful features which aren't spoken about a great deal are the following. You've got parental controls, so if you're, say, lending your car to one of your children, and you've got Joe mode. So parental controls, if you go to the car icon on the right hand side of your screen, click that and scroll to safety, and then if you scroll down you'll see parental controls. So what this does, you can set the maximum speed limit and reduce acceleration to chill, force some safety features, and also get a notification around someone driving the car between certain hours, which is obviously a good little feature. The other one is Joe mode. So Joe mode down here, still in the safety menu, and what this does, it reduces the car notification noises, and specifically in the back of the car, And the reason this came about was somebody with the name Joe happened to tweet Elon Musk a few years ago. The car was waking up his kids with all the notifications and chimes and so forth, and it'd be great if that could be reduced. And lo and behold, Elon Musk listened, sent it to his developers, and along came Joe mode. So another top tip, which is one I've only just recently discovered. Bear in mind I've had this car for 2.5 years, and it's not very exciting, but again, it's one of these little features that you just don't realise, perhaps, and that's pertaining to the sun visor. So I didn't realise that you can extend these sun visors, and that's the same for the driver's side as well. So for those of you that have made it to the end of the video, thank you. Hopefully you found this useful, and if you did, then please feel free to give this video a like. Also, feel free to subscribe to the channel for more tips and tricks around living with an EV. If you do like this sort of content, then you may like this video here, so check out this video. And until next time, catch you later.